What's up guys, it's Nash and welcome back to another Predict Show. It's been a week since we last did one because of the international break, but now we're back with club football. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell to know when my videos are up on the channel. We're going to kick it off with the first game, the best game of the weekend, which is Tottenham versus Liverpool. Two teams have had very so-called good and bad starts to the season. Liverpool had the best start to the season I think they've made since they actually won the league in 1989 or 1990, how long ago I can't remember. As for Tottenham, more like the good, the bad and the ugly you could say. They had a great sort of, start. They beat Newcastle, They also, beat Manchester United convincingly, even though Man United were as bad as you actually think. Okay. And then they decided to spurs it up. When you expect them to actually go to Watford and get a result, they lose 2-1. So what do I make of these sort of Spurs this season and Liverpool? Well, Liverpool are definitely Man City's closest challenger this year to the title. Tottenham, yes, they should be title contenders after beating Manchester United. This is the reason why they will never win a league or maybe never win a major trophy. It's because they don't have that sort of mentality. Go out there and you get a big result, sort of you could say leaders they don't have, but then they have a great team, but then they didn't spend any money in the transfer window, so what do you make? So in conclusion, this game is a huge game for both teams. Last time Liverpool went to Tottenham at Wembley, they got thrashed 4-1 and everybody's thinking, this Jurgen Klopp's under huge pressure. They should so continue in the summer, which continues now no longer a Liverpool player, now a Barcelona player. So, and then Tottenham, Harry Kane is sort of, you could say jaded, you could say maybe he's not 100% fit. Eriksen and Dele Alli could say as well. So, Tottenham have more questions than answers. Liverpool have answers the questions. So, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Liverpool. We'll just nick this. This could go either way, but I think Liverpool, they're very good defence. I think Van Dijk has been a revelation since they signed him. I think they've had the best defence since he's been there in terms of conceding goals. So he is a mountain of a defender for them. And Joe Gomez looks like to have a really good partnership between him and Van Dijk. So I'm really looking to see how that blossoms from the rest of the season. But I'm going for a 2-1 win for Liverpool. Now we're heading to the Bundesliga where Bayern Munich played Leverkusen. Bayern Munich have had, well, 2 wins from 2. Just leave her off. Just Tim and Handy just are the kings of Germany because nobody else in the league can catch them. Or can they? Could this be the year we see maybe Leverkusen, maybe Dortmund, Schalke, maybe somebody else from the pack actually coming and challenge Bayern this season? We'll wait and see in that one. But as for Leverkusen, speaking of Leverkusen, they've had a terrible start to the season. No points, 2 defeats from their first 2 matches. And they're in the bottom 3. But I'm not saying they're going to get relegated. They have a really good player in Leon Bailey, who they found a new contract for him, so he's going to be vital for them going forward. And they've got also other players as well, like Oliver Brandt, who had an interesting World Cup by hitting the woodwork twice. So he's going to blossom this year along with Bailey. But do I expect them to beat Bayern Munich in Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena? No, I just don't see it. But I do expect him to score a goal, but I don't expect him to win. Bayern Munich will win this game 3-1. Lewandowski will bang 1. Thomas Müller as well. Now we're heading to Serie A. In Italy, I talk about Napoli versus Fiorentina. Napoli have had not a great last week sort of before the international break. They got thumped 3-0 by Sampdoria. Quite convincingly, really, when Quagliarella pretty much stole the show and scored one of the goals of the season with his beautiful little backheel goal. You have to watch it. Trust me, go and watch it. It's an absolutely outstanding fucking goal. As for Fiorentina, they've had a fantastic start to the season. They have, I think, 7 points from 3 games. I think they're in top 3, maybe top 4. So they've had a very good start to the season. This is going to be their test. If they want to challenge for the top 4 places and get into Champions football, then this is the game that's going to be sort of, we know what Fiorentina are all about this season. And if they can go to Naples and get a good result, then they are definitely one of the contenders for the top 4 places. But Napoli, in the last 2 home games, have had sort of that winning feeling. They went to Lazio, even though Lazio were running up, and won. Then they played AC Milan, come back from 1-0 down, and won. So they have that sort of know-how not to lose even though against Sampdoria they were absolutely atrocious. But I expect Napoli to get back on that horse, literally, and go and win quite, not a convincing win, but just a win, just to get more confidence into the team, to try and get closer to Juventus, because they're looks like to be running away with right now. But I expect them to beat Fiorentina 2-1. Now we're heading to La Liga. We're talking about Bilbao versus Real Madrid. Bilbao have had not a great start to the season. Real Madrid have had a great start to the season. As for Real Madrid, 3 wins, 9 points. Benzema is unbelievable right now. He looks fitter than he's ever been. Playing some of the best football I've seen Benzema probably since he first joined Real Madrid in his debut season, when also they bought Ronaldo and Kaká. Gareth Bale looks like to maybe get Ronaldo out of the way. I won't be the main man of this team. And Marco Asensio has definitely stepped up as well. So Real Madrid look like a really good team. Lopetegui has changed probably the way they play. They're more of a possession-based team, a bit quicker on the ball. Maybe under Zidane, they were more like defensive structure, try and score on the counter-attack all the time. So they've definitely changed their philosophy, Real Madrid. Bilbao, a lot of players have been sold. You think of Alexis Laporte, who's now Manchester City, Kepa, who's now the most expensive goalkeeper of all time, who's now at Chelsea. So they've lost a lot of players. Instead of selling a lot of players, but they still have Munayin. They still, I think, have Alderweireld, the Spanish striker. So I think they still have a couple of players that are okay. I'm not going to be fine for relegation. You know, last season had a horrific season, but I expect them to do well, but I don't expect them to do anything in this game. I think Real Madrid will comfortably win this game 3-0. Now we're heading to Ligue, where Monaco play Toulouse, and Toulouse will have an outstanding start to the season. Well, 4 matches, and they have, I think, 7 points, and they're in the top 3. As for Monaco, not such a great start to the season after getting beat by Marseille in their previous game, quite well, even though they were 2-1 up, and then they effed it up at the end with Turban and Germain scored those 2 goals. So I don't really know what to make for Monaco this season because they sold so many players, but then they brought decent players in. Tielemans, I expect him to do well this season. I know last season he was sort of getting used to the league. Now I expect him to step up. Yoni Lopez, I expect him to score more goals and create more goals for him. Farcal looks like maybe sort of the end of his career, but he can still score goals. But Toulouse, I really watching them this season. They're sort of resolute defensively. They don't have a lot of stars in their team, but they're sort of a very compact, a lot like Montpellier last season. That's what they sort of remind me of this season of Toulouse. But I do expect Toulouse to get a point. 1-1 draw. Monaco aren't really the best away specialists, so I expect Toulouse to get a 1-1 draw. Now heading back to the Premier League of Watford versus Manchester United. And Watford, you guys are killing it right now in the start of this season. 4 wins, up there with Chelsea, up there with Liverpool, both on 12 points. Wow, you couldn't ask for a great start. Man United, on the other hand, are a totally different option, totally opposite of what Watford are. They have had so much negativity from the start of the season right through to now. Mourinho tripping over himself. That's all. I mean, who fuck saw that coming? But what can this Manchester United team really challenge this season? Lukaku looks like he's back in goal scoring form again after scoring goals for international duty for Belgium. He also scored 2 goals in the win against Burnley, even though they should have had a penalty against Burnley, but let's just not talk about that. Marcus Rashford as well, he won't be playing against Watford because he's suspended for 3 matches for his red card he got. So even though for me both of them should be sent off because Barnsley kicked him first, whatever. But I don't know. Man United, I don't think they're going to win the league this year. Man United, I know it's a long way to go this season, but I just think the whole negativity around the club, Ed Woodward and the board and everything, it's all going wrong for Manchester United. As for Watford, I think they're on a real high. They don't have a lot of players from that went to international duty, so they're sort of more fresher and fitter. And I think they'll get a 2-2 draw. And I really do think Watford are real contenders this season. Not for the title, not for anything else. I just think they're going to be one of those teams this year that you want to keep your eye on. Now heading back to Serie A, Juventus versus Sassuolo. 2 teams that are first and second in the league. Who just said that after 3 matches that sucking Sassuolo will be in the top 2. As they're beating Inter Milan and another convincing. I think a draw and then another win. Juventus have won all their games so far, not convincing really, again, especially against Kiev. I also beat the other team, just beat them 2-1 in the last game. So, but Ronaldo still hasn't scored a goal yet.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Spent that amount of money, he hasn't scored a goal yet. Maybe I was right. Maybe he is cursed in Italy. I don't know. We'll wait to see on that. But he will score goals eventually. He's just sort of going through that drought of every top player goes through when you haven't scored a goal in a while. But he will get his goal eventually. And I think he will do it this weekend. I think he will score this weekend. And I think they'll win in a cracking 3-2 win against us. And the last game is Wolfsburg versus Hertha Berlin. Two teams that are joint top with Bayern Munich on 6 points. Both teams have had an excellent start to the season. Hertha Berlin, especially for me, a really good win away to Schalke. It's a tough place to go there at Gelsenkirchen. A really good win for them. Wolfsburg had an excellent start to the season as well. They also beat Leverkusen in the last game, quite convincingly really. So, what can these two sort of be the two teams' surprise packages, you can say, this season in the Bundesliga, come from nowhere and do well this year? Because people thought that Wolfsburg would fight for relegation because they were pretty much in a relegation playoff this time, and sort of playing a team from the second division to stay in the league. Hertha have had a very iffy sort of last season, maybe this year because they sort of spent a bit of money to try and get closer to the top 6 to get into that top 4. Maybe it could happen, but it's early days. But I expect both teams to draw. It'll be a 1-1 draw. I don't think it'll be a great game to watch, but I just think both teams will get enough for a point each. So guys, there are the prediction for this episode. Put in the comments down below your prediction for this weekend. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day and say no to drugs. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and outro is out.